Friends, welcome to another episode of Auto Afflicted. Today, we're with the 280SE, a totally classic Benz. We just got this back from paint, one of the services we offer here at Auto Afflicted. I'm gonna run you all through a little bit of the paint that we did to this and a lot of what the 280SE is, why it's such a cool classic Merc, and all of the little features that it does have. And we're gonna get into all of that right now. Right, so 1971 Mercedes-Benz 280SE. It comes from the W108 and W109 chassis family. Originally, the differences between the 108 and the 109 were a difference in length between the SEL versions and the rather normal sedan versions. But later, the differences became more subtle, little interior and exterior changes, and the bodies being very similar. These W108s and 109 chassis, these were made from 1965 until 73, imported in the States till 73. I think in Europe they stopped building them in 71, but they came with a myriad of different engines. This one has the 2.8 straight six, so the 280 designation. It does have fuel injection, and this one has regular suspension. I believe the 109s had the self-leveling suspension, which did have a hydraulic component to it. This one is a little more basic in that regard. These chassis, though, are sort of the little brother of the famed Red Pig, which was the 300 SEL version of this chassis that came with a 6.3 liter, I believe it was 6.3 liter V8 that the AMG guys, as the story goes, they took that motor and they bored it out. They dropped it in one of these guys with big flared fenders, and they took it racing. And it was kind of ridiculous, you know, at the time, big sedan, big power, but it did really well in its class. I'm not sure if there was anyone else in the class racing sedans, I don't know. But anyway, the Red Pig, famous, and this is really its little brother. It shares all of the same beautiful fascia and amazing body work. Like, just all the details on this car are exactly what you would expect from a 70s Mercedes. You know, you've got all this great chrome trim, there's amazing shape to the panels, you know, you've got these air intakes at the front of the car, really beautiful lines. And as I mentioned in the beginning, we had this car repainted. So my friend Andre had found this car. He sold it to a guy in California, and we were tasked with getting it painted before delivery. So he gave the car to me. I found an amazing painter who we have a great relationship with now, and he busted this whole car out. This was, what was it, $9,600 to the customer, and that included a little bit of rust repair in the trunk that required cutting out a panel and welding in a new panel, and then of course the painting of it and the undercoating. That price for the paint job did not include the interior of the engine bay or any of the interior door sills. Since we weren't changing colors, that seemed like the right approach and balanced for this guy's budget. This is the 70s Benz vibe. Solid. Getting into the car, it's the pinnacle of 70s luxury, or very close to it. Unfortunately, the seatbelts, which I think are super cool, probably not what would be considered safe these days. Very much airplane style, made by Kangol. Not the Kangol that makes the very furry hats that are preferred by Jamiroquai. But Kangol Magnetic, which is a German company that specialized in safety equipment. Pretty cool. Comes off just like that. So hopefully it stays on in a crash. Let's take this thing for a drive. Cruising the SE is a total vibe, as you would imagine. You know, gripping the huge 70s steering wheel, just surrounded by wood interior and the MB-Tex, the bomb-proof pseudo leather. It's just, you know, it takes you back. When you're in this car, you're in no hurry, really. Like, where are you in a hurry to go? You're just cruising. This is like, take out your best gal on a Sunday afternoon, cruise out for some brunch. You know, just enjoy. No hurry. I've really appreciated having this car. It's been in my possession probably now a couple months, between just finding the painter and, you know, putting the thing all back together. And it's been a pleasure just to experience this car and, you know, see the old world craftsmanship, like, you know, the wood on the door sills and just all the details, sort of like, I don't know, it's Art Deco-ish style. Very cool. All the chrome accents, just even in the interior, you know, there's little chrome pieces everywhere. So, as I mentioned, we had painted this car. We didn't personally paint it. We found a great painter. He was happy to do a full paint job, which, if you're not familiar with the current status of paint jobs, you essentially have like your $1,200 Mako paint job you can get, or you start at like maybe 15 grand or something. Like, painters just aren't doing paint jobs because they can make more money more quickly doing smaller spot jobs, insurance work. And it takes so much time to properly get a car ready for paint that they just don't tend to do it. It's not worth it. Or they're gonna charge you the, you know, what they call the fuck you price.
Fuck you, paint.
That's like, I don't wanna do it price. It took me hours and hours. I probably got over 20 hours in this car, as far as like the time to take off the trim and put it all back together. I took the thing all the way down for paint, took out the windows, all the exterior trim, and then put it all back on. And when you're dealing with a 71 Benz, you're dealing with 50-year-old cardboard door cards and plastics and irreplaceable trim. I mean, yeah, it's replaceable, but the trim on these cars is not cheap. You bend that stuff, it's gonna be a bad day. So now that I'm a self-certified vintage Mercedes mechanic and restorer, I got all the tricks in my pocket. So, you know, if you got an old car you need work done to, hit us up. You got a car you need painted, hit us up. We can get that done for you. That's just what we do at Auto Afflicted Garage. It's like, your car is somehow our passion. I don't know. But anyway, friends, this has just been like a quick romp around. I really wanted to show you all this car, show you the great work that we did on pulling this thing apart, putting it back together, and the paint job that we got on it. And just, you know, share the cars with you guys as ever, because that's just what we do, sharing our automotive passions. So, you know the drill, friends. Be kind to those around you. Love the ones you're with. Use your signals when you're driving. Aspire to own a Benz, and we'll catch you on the next one.